Okay.
What is going on, CineGear people? It's Brendan Sweeny here, CEO of Filmmakers Academy and co-founder of Lost Objects. We are at booth 30, or stage 30 at Condor Blue, and I am here with...
Hello, my name is Kyra Sweeny, co-founder of Lost Objects with Brendan. And just so everyone knows, Lost Objects is like a company that's dedicated to helping filmmakers with social media, because a lot of the times filmmakers are so busy, they don't understand it, they don't want to do it, they don't have the time. And we're just kind of here to talk about how important it is, and that you don't necessarily need to be a creator to still have a great presence on social media, and some fun, amazing tips to help you out. Yeah. So,
Well, I'm super excited, Kira. I'm going to lead the conversation here, and I'm going to ask you some questions because to add context to who Kira is, she's been running the socials at Filmmakers Academy for a long time before starting this whole idea with Lost Objects. And you're very much the brainchild, the mind behind this. And I don't like the word guru, but I would say that you're a guru in your own right, just because you help so many people understand the social media landscape. And I know you want to talk about Instagram. Let's go into that just because I feel like you have so much wealth to share. So, what are some of the top things you feel that people maybe starting out don't understand the best with this tool?
absolutely. Well, I personally stand to believe that other than YouTube and TikTok, Instagram is one of the most powerful tools for filmmakers. And I believe that a few things that people could do to make their presence better is super simple tweaks. One of them is just making sure that you have a username that's very easily searchable. A lot of times people like to, use fun names, but then you try to search the name and you can't find them. That's step number one, is make sure it's actually your name. Or if like you go into your bio and you can add your first and last name, definitely do that, because if your username is something that isn't searchable, make sure to have your legal name in your bio so that it'll still pop up. Another thing is definitely make sure your profile photo is you and it's clearly you. It's not a logo, it's not, unless it's a company, but if you yourself are an operator or a cinematographer, make sure the profile photo is you. And it's some, even if it's an artsy photo where it's like mysterious, we just want to make sure you can see like, oh, I think I know this person, let me search them up, and then you can obviously see it's them. So that's like super simple stuff that I always suggest for people to do, and to use your bio, put your name, put what you do. The algorithm has, like, I always recommend having a creator or business account, because that allows you to look at insights, that allows you to actually tag your job title in your like profile and your bio without necessarily having to like type it out. So for example, there is a cinematographer like tag that if you have a creator account, you can just tag that, so you don't have to waste the characters in your bio typing cinematographer. And the algorithm, when you search like somebody and they're a cinematographer, you're looking for that, it'll pop up. So those are just like some really simple things that people can do to just optimize their profile and make sure it's searchable.
Right. And I feel like a great example of this is I am always Kira's example because I'm a millennial. My tag is at Bren Pancake. Yes, Bren in the griddle item. And even last night at a party, people were like, oh, what is your social handle? I'm like, it's Bren Pancake. I can't find you. And that is case in point to why it's make sure your tag is easy to find. But one of the big questions that I know that we always face with a lot of the people that we onboard at Lost Objects is, okay, I need to create assets. I need to
Oh
be able to
yeah.
make posts. Am I supposed to do educational? I really want to focus on being an operator, a DP. I don't have the time to do that. And I know I have a lot to say about being a creator, being a filmmaker, that duality that's super hard to straddle. But what are your thoughts on just the emergence of the creator culture? We see what Condor Blue's doing, Creator, and their amazing way of just navigating high-end filmmaking, the creator economy. Does everyone need to be a creator but a filmmaker at the same time? Is it one of those things that if you want to just be a DP like the Shane Hurlbut types, that you just also need to be able to make those educational assets? Or do you think it's also okay to use Instagram or other social media tools in a more like portfolio manner?
Absolutely. I think that both of those examples like are amazing. It's what speaks to you. Now, in today's day, I know a lot of even our clients have booked work through social media. Like, I know for a fact in Legacy Grips DMs, we've been seeing people say, I want to rent your truck. I want to do all of these things. And I don't know if that would have happened as much if, he didn't have the presence that he built with us over the years and the amount of work he's put into it. So I would say as a cinematographer, there's definitely some people that are very precious about their grid. I have my own feelings about that. I don't think it's bad, but if you just really want to showcase your portfolio, in my opinion, unless you are the top of the top, I don't necessarily think that's going to engage the highest. Unless you have stellar work, unless you're very well known or you're up and coming, I just don't think photos of your work all the time are necessarily going to engage the best. That's just my personal opinion. I think if you're coming up, you want to build a presence for yourself, trying to find a way that's organic to you. Like I know some of our the top performing content for our clients is literally shots of them in action. If you're on a short film, if you can hire a behind the scenes photographer, just getting photos of you in action, and people love seeing you do what you love. Like your family, your friends, like they want to support that. So they see you, holding a camera or directing or acting in something, and they're immediately going to engage with that. Another thing that I would recommend is again, you don't need to be, like I said before, a creator. You don't necessarily need to do education. It's whatever you feel authentic to you. But I will tell you what engages, right? Like I said, photos of you in action, behind the scenes, or things like this is how we did this shot. And it's like a crazy DIY rig that people are like, how did you do that? That type of stuff is going to engage. It's going to get you out there more. It's going to potentially get people just knowing you, DMing you. And in my opinion, doing things like that, breakdowns or stills or lighting diagrams, just shows your expertise as a filmmaker. So even though it's education, I personally think it's showcasing and kind of flaunting yourself without your ego being so overt, because you're like, this is what I can do. This is my expertise, but it's educational. People bookmark it, which actually bumps it in the algorithm, because that means people are saving your content. And because they're saving it, it's going to pop up in front of more people. It's going to get more engagement. So anyway, there's two different avenues, but and I don't want to take up too much time, but with our clients, it's like we've had the people who purely don't want any education. And then we're like, okay, great. What can we do? Let's just get some shots of you in action. For an operator that we work with, we asked him to rig an Insta360 to his Steadicam, and that immediately blew up. It got almost 1 million views, SOC collab, so many people. And he was kind of iffy about doing the education stuff, but it's like, okay, what can we find that isn't that's just showcasing your profession and your expertise. So yeah, anyway, I hope that kind of answers the question.
No, that 100% does. And it's one of these things, and anybody that we onboard, it's always about consider yourself the producer trying to get content out the door and starting small. And I feel like people look at the Shane Hurlbutts and the other people that are creators and all that they do, and I'm like, listen, you don't need to start there. Think about a post that you can do once a day or once a week consistently. And we always talk about consistency is key here at Lost Objects, because you want to be able to get in front of as many people as often as possible and not stress yourself out. If you want to be a full-time set worker, whether that's a cinematographer, a director, do what works within the bandwidth and the scope of the profession that you're in now. Now, if you want to go beyond that, obviously get excited, try to do more. But it's like anything, empires and trying to grow your empire. It's not all of that stuff happens at night. And we've worked with people who are like, I want to be on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube all at once. And I'm like, listen, that's really great. We love that you want to do that, but you're going to spread yourself thin and you're going to hate the process, and you don't want to hate the process. You want to be able to love what you do and get through this and start small. And it's all about consistency. And that's what I always double down on that. And people are like, well, no, I see what this guy's doing that. It's like, but you're not that person, and you have to find your niche. And I love creators, and I love what they've been able to do to make film knowledge accessible and to be able to foster a community. But not everybody today in 2025 also needs to be that. If you want to start small, just get your portfolio and work out there and really focus on your craft. You really have to be honest with yourself as an artist and what you can hold mentally, because the point is the people that are doing it really well, they probably spent years doing just that, figuring out what their audience like, figuring out the content that they can easily produce to get out the door. And you just got to be honest with yourself. And I think that's the best place to start as an artist in any capacity.
I agree. And also, something that I don't think is talked about a lot is being a creator is very hard work. Like, people just think that they can kind
Creator
of,
burnout is real.
yeah, I mean, they just think they can do it, but it's like, to do it consistently and do it well with all the platforms, and to balance all of the demands with the sponsors and the money, and that you have to deliver X, Y, and Z, and then, oh, you're trying to also shoot and do your job, and then, oh, you, it's like, it's absolutely exhausting. So it's like, I'm saying to people that if you feel called to do that, and it's going to be a really intense, like, I mean, it's just such an oversaturated market, and there's nothing else to say about that. Like, I would say like 5 to 10 years ago it wasn't as much, but in today's day, I mean, it's like everyone's doing this now, which is amazing. There's room for everyone, but at the same time, I always like letting people know it's not easy. It's exhausting, and it takes so much time. And how are you going to stand out compared to all the other people who are now doing this because they see that it's working and they want to make money? And it's so anyway, that's just my own 2 cents, is like, just have a great presence. If you feel like, I know I personally could never be an influencer. That's just not me. It's not my thing. I just know it in my core that I would not enjoy just being like, hey guys, so this morning I woke up and I did it. Like, it's just like not me, which is great. I would rather help people do that than be the one doing that. You know what I mean? So I guess it's like, just, that's something I wanted to add, is like, not everyone needs to do it. It's a lot of work. It's exhausting. So really ask yourself that before. That's my friend Tom. We were in a play together. Hey, Tom. Anyway, so yeah.
And this goes to the shout out to the creators, because the big dogs are watching. No more do the studios get to dictate essentially what content goes out the door. Think about it, that a single person can now attract millions of views by themselves without having to have a whole studio orchestrated. And I love Universal, I love CineGear, I love all of the people that do all of this stuff, but we're no longer in the age of having to wait for them to say yes. And we saw that just last night in a party. People want to come together more than ever, and the small person can be the big dog on stage. We don't need to wait for the people up top to give us the green light. And the creators, if anything, are enabling the film community to realize that there is a larger stage out there that does not need to be built by someone else, and it can be built by the people that love us, that care about the community. And I think that needs to be said, where I love creators because they do come together and they foster a community that goes beyond the confines of traditional cinema, beyond the confines of traditional consumer tactics, beyond the confines of traditional marketing pipelines. Right now, everyone is a marketer, everyone's a director, everyone's a filmmaker, a photographer, whatever it is. You can find it, put some gaff tape on it, and call yourself what you want to be. But it's the age of innocence, and it's the age of people being individual users and coming together to say no more to this BS.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I will say the one unfortunate thing that I think we're getting closer, I mean, like more away from, and people are realizing, is like, creators have a really hard time being taken seriously by like big typical studio or like associations, because they're looked at as a YouTuber or this or that. But if you look at, now here's the thing, I will say this, there's 2 types of creators. I think there's creators who are amazing at selling things, and that they're really good at that, and they have great proof of that, and they do really unique ideas. But then I think there's creators that actually are very talented in their specific like path. And I think that there's, I kind of in my mind clock them as like 2 different. It's like, oh, this person is really talented at making videos and selling things, but this person is really good at making videos, but also is a really good cinematographer. And it's just, for those who are very talented and want to get in the industry, it is very challenging for like traditional places like associations, the industry, to take them serious. But I think we're moving further and further away from that, because you can see how many of the studios are hiring these TikTokers to like interview Christopher Nolan to be on TikTok and all these things, because they know that's where the audience is and that's where we're going. So I just think it's a really interesting duality. But if I could say one thing, I think about like just Instagram, you guys, and not getting overwhelmed by it. I know a lot of you have amazing photos of yourself in action or of your work. There's super easy posts you can do. Like I said, carousels of your work. You could do the 3 stacked images. Instagram's 4x5 now. I think it looks beautiful. You could do a carousel of you in action mixed with behind the scenes. You could also just do like lighting, like schematics, like drawing on the image. People love that. And all this stuff, in my opinion, doesn't take too much time. It's not like you're filming yourself, not like you're making a reel. You can literally just like use what you have, hopefully you already have, or work with people to get those assets. And yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, and I think to kind of close things out here, it's the age of, and Lucas Colombo said this best yesterday on our panel, of the Academy Awards is a great example of where that is such a cash transaction and it's a money equivalence to greatness, and we're no longer in that stage. And the Academy, call me up. I have some innovative ideas to make your award show better. But I'm sick of award shows and money being the cash transaction to show that content is quality. And we see that now with creators, we see that now with indie filmmakers, and it all starts with you with Instagram. Instagram is the platform to show that quality does not need to be a monetary equivalence. It just does not. We have amazing products that are made by Condor Blue that are accessible with cameras that people can grab at their local Best Buy and get started. I mean, for Christ's sakes, we see what an iPhone can do. We see what Michael Cioni's done with his tools. And I'm just sick of award shows and all of these people dictating that you need this X amount of money to showcase that this content is king, and it's just BS. And right now with Instagram, use this tool, feel confident in yourself as an artist in whatever capacity that is. Go out there and make that content and enjoy yourself for who you are, and don't care about the likes, don't care about the comments. Honestly, don't look at that stuff. Go out, make stuff every day, enjoy what you're making for yourself. And if people tend to like you, great. And if they don't, put the finger up and keep walking. That's all I can say.
Wow, you're this energy. I feel the energy. Anyway, last thing, just really quickly, is follow us at We Are Lost Objects. Check out our website. Follow Bren Pancake, who needs to change his username to Brendan Sweeny.
I will never do it.
And then Kyra Grace. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you, Condor Blue, so much for having us. This was awesome. And have a great CineGear, everyone.
Catch you on the next one.